name is Penda, and if you are tuned in today, we are on day 2 of the Foundation Olympics. If you don't know what the Foundation Olympics are, every day this week on my channel at 12 p.m., I changed the time, but every day at 12 p.m. I will be dropping a new video featuring and reviewing a foundation with so many foundations that are dropping currently. I just wanted to see which one is the best, so I'll be trying out 6 different ones, and then on the 7th day of this week, I'll be doing a compilation video so that we can decide together which foundation was the best that recently dropped. In today's video, I am going to be reviewing Uoma Beauty, so I do have their foundation, their concealer, as well as their lip product. So if you're interested in seeing how it works, if it works on dark skin, if I picked up the right shade, and all of those things, make sure you go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so we are here for day 2 of the Foundation Olympics, and in today's video I am going to be featuring the new Uoma Beauty foundation. Now I have not tried this on my face at all yet. I did go ahead and swatch it just to see what the shade would look like, and I'm a little nervous. But for today we're going to be seeing how this works, how it wears, is it affordable, how does it blend, how does it look after a few hours, everything that you guys are expecting to see in a foundation review. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take the foundation, I've already primed my face, and I'm going to take some out on my hand. So one thing I can make notice of so far is that the texture itself, it is liquidy, and I feel like for me personally, I do like foundations that are more liquidy just because it's not as heavy on the face. I don't like foundations that have too much of a thick consistency. As far as the shade match so far, I did match myself in the shade Black Pearl Tea 1W. So the way that I matched myself is I went on the website specifically to Ulta and I looked at what Uoma Beauty would recommend. No, I actually went to Uoma Beauty's website and I looked at what they recommended you to get based on your skin complexion. So I'm going to blend this in and hopefully it works. It does have a smell. It has like a perfumey smell, which is scary. I know y'all saw me say yesterday I was scared when I was trying the Urban Decay foundation because that one also had like an alcohol smell. I have really sensitive skin, so I'm always super nervous when it comes to trying out new foundations that have scents or that smell like alcohol or that smell like anything, to be honest, just because I don't want to break out from it. But so far what I would say about this is that the coverage is very light, so we're gonna see if I can build it up. So what I did really quickly off camera is I just applied some foundation to my neck just to see if it actually matches. I feel like if I'm comparing this side of my face to this side of my face, this could be like a shade darker, but I don't think it looks extremely like different or that there's such a huge contrast to where it looks like it doesn't match me at all. I feel like once I add contour, I should be okay. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna try to build this foundation up, and I'm just gonna apply another layer of dots on this side of my face. It has a really, really strong smell. So if you don't like perfumey smells, you might not like this. And what I'm going to try to do to build the coverage up is I'm going to blend it with this brush first, and then I'm going to blend it out with my brush. So it is buildable. And this second layer is definitely added some coverage to my skin. And I feel like with this foundation, I am definitely going to have to make sure that I contour enough just so that it looks well. And that's the thing when it comes to ordering foundations online. You just never know what you're going to get. You never know how it's going to work. Currently, Uoma Beauty is not offered or is not sold at the Sephora or at the Ulta near me. So I have to go buy what's online. So for me just going online, I feel like I can make this work. I don't think it looks super bad. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. I'm going to go in really quickly with my Sigma sponge, and I'm just going to press it in a little bit more just to make sure that it's blended. As you guys know, I like to apply it with a brush first and then go back over it usually with a beauty blender or a beauty sponge just to press it in and make sure that everything is blended. What I do like about this foundation too is that I feel like I still see my skin. Like it still looks skin-like. It doesn't look super heavy on me, and I feel like that's definitely a pro. But this is one side with the foundation and then this side without. Okay, now my full face is done. It definitely is a bit lighter, so I'm gonna go in with contour, or I feel like it's a little lighter, I don't know. Sometimes with the bright lights, it kind of blinds me so I can't see that well, but if I'm looking in the mirror, I feel like it definitely has a warm undertone and it's like a shade too light for me. So I'm gonna go in heavily with contour and bronzer. We're gonna fix that. I'm gonna go ahead and blend in the other side with the sponge, and then we're gonna see how this concealer works. Hopefully this concealer is better than yesterday's concealer. Like, honestly. Because yesterday I was shocked, I was appalled. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna leave the card above. But this foundation series, these foundation Olympics, is going to be posted every day. So whether you're watching this today, you have a video that you can catch up on from yesterday, and you will have a video to watch tomorrow, okay sis? So for the concealer, I'm gonna go in with the Stay Woke, or the Woke concealer. I like the fact that it looks like an alarm clock, because I need to be awake for work. And this one is in the shade T1 Black Pearl. For the concealer, one thing I like so far automatically is that it has a really thick doe foot applicator. I like that. It is a little loose though, so hopefully you don't break on me. But I'm gonna go in with a small amount first, just because I'm learning my lesson about going in with too much concealer and then it messing up the look, so we're gonna try to avoid that. Automatically, this concealer is much thicker than the foundation. I don't know what it is with brands where they make their foundations somewhat liquidy and thin, but the concealers are thick. Maybe it's because they want you to have more coverage. I mean, it makes sense. They want you to have more coverage underneath your eyes and above your lips, because that's typically where people have hyperpigmentation. But so far, I really like this concealer. I feel like it's blending down pretty nicely. Oh, I feel like I felt a little stinging. I don't know, but it is definitely blending really, really, really nicely. It's melting into the skin. So yep, y'all saw that. Y'all saw how easily that kind of like went down. I really like this concealer so far. And I feel like it gives me coverage, but it's not like super, super cakey, even though the concealer itself is thick. So I'm actually gonna take some more of the concealer now that I know it's safe, and I'm gonna get a little closer to my under eye area. And I'm gonna go back in with that Sigma sponge and I'm gonna press it in. So now I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna kind of blend the edges. Blend everything together just so that it looks seamless. And I'm really, really, really enjoying the way my face looks. I feel like the concealer definitely helped. It just looks good. It looks really, really good. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and I'm gonna contour first. And in case you're wondering, for contour today, I'm gonna use the Pure Cosmetics foundation, their 4-in-1 Selfie. With this foundation, it's super bomb because it has like a doe foot, but then it also has a pump in case you use it for foundation. So I'm gonna use the shade DPP6. This shade is really, really deep. So I feel like it's going to help me with balancing balancing out the fact that this foundation was a little lighter. I'm gonna push this back a little bit just so I can get my forehead area. And I want you guys to see that line of demarcation, so you can definitely see that this foundation is too light for me, but I'm going to make it work, okay? Because I ordered it and I wanted to do this series, so we're gonna make it work. So I just went ahead and I applied contour all over the perimeters of my face, and that's just gonna help me bring back the depth to my skin. So I'm gonna fast forward this part. I just wanted you guys to see where I applied it, and then I'll come back and show you what the finished look looks like once I've set my face and done the rest of it. So I'll just fast forward this part for you guys just so that you can see what it looks like. Alright guys, so I did finish my face. I have a few thoughts and opinions, but I'll wait. I'm gonna go ahead and also use the Uoma Beauty lipstick in the shade Tracy. I feel like with their lipsticks, that's the one thing that I've seen a lot of people talking about consistently that they love besides the concealer, so I did want to try it. And this is like a nude shade. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh. Did you see how easy and flawlessly that applied? Wow, their lipsticks are bomb. I know this isn't about their lipsticks at all, but I'm telling you guys right now, the lipsticks are bomb. So as far as the foundation, I did zoom you guys out just so you can see how it compares to my chest. I feel like if I'm looking at it in comparison to my chest, it looks pretty much like a match. I will say though that it's a little red for me with the way that it's coming up. And I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can see as well. All right, so this is what my face looks like once I zoom all the way in so you guys can see what it looks like completely. And if I'm being honest, I'm also not in love. Maybe I have to look back at the footage, but there's another day where I feel like a little something is off. I'm not sure what it is. I think the redness of the foundation is definitely appearing a lot. But sometimes what happens is that the way that I see it isn't the way that it reflects in camera. And when I go look at other lighting in my apartment, like when I went in the bathroom, it looked a little grayish. So I don't know, I feel like the best way for me to check is just going to be to check on my phone. So I am going to take a picture. So it's really weird because when I look at the one that has no flash, you definitely can see that there, like my T-zone area is a little lighter. You can see the brightness. It doesn't look bad, but it also doesn't look amazing. And then when I look at the one with flash, I see a little bit of the grayness. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to wear this in order to see how it's going to look. So this is what the finished look looks like. I'll go ahead and zoom you guys back out before I do my wear test, just so you can again remember what it looks like all together. Alright, so I just went ahead and I zoomed you guys back out just so you can see the face again before I leave. So it is now currently, it's currently 2:40. So I'm gonna go ahead and wear this for a few hours and then I will come back to give you guys my pros, my cons, thoughts, and opinions on both the foundation as well as the concealer. What do you guys think I'm gonna rate it out of 10? Let me know in the comment section down below. Guess now before I come back. Alright, so I'm gonna go and I'll be right back. If you had to rate my foundation, what would you give it?
Oh, it's like a 9.
It's a 9?
Yeah.
You like the shade?
I like the shade.
Like it matches my chest?
Yeah.
My roommate said it's fine. I don't know.
It's fine, y'all.
Alright guys, so I'm in a supermarket and this is what it looks like in the lighting in here. And I've actually been wearing it for almost 4 or 5 hours now. It's like 7, 8 o'clock. I'm really tired. I filmed like a lot of videos today, but this is what the skin is looking like. Alright guys, so I'm coming back to you. Yes, I know I have foundation on my shirt. I just filmed like 3 other videos. I went to Target. I'm super tired and exhausted, which is why we have like the new background. But I just wanted to come here to tell you guys the pros and cons of this foundation, and I'm going to try to get a little close. Alright, so I just zoomed you guys in, and one disclaimer that I want to make as I go through these series is that I am being more harsh on these foundations than I feel like I typically would, specifically for the fact that since I'm trying out the 6, my goal is to tell you which one is the best one out of all 6 of the foundations that I try out this week. So I'm being way more critical than I usually would because it is a competition, which is why I'm doing the system of, you know, however many points out of 10. As far as how long I've been wearing it, it is now 10:41, so I feel like it's been on for almost 8 hours now. And I haven't had to blot too much, but I have had to powder throughout the day. And the only reason why I did go ahead and powder is because I was filming other videos and I was going outside, so I couldn't leave without doing that or else I would look crazy. Another pro would just be like how thin it is. I feel like because of the thinness, it wasn't super cakey, or it doesn't feel super cakey on my face, especially after I've been wearing it for 8 hours. And then I do like the fact that the shade range is pretty extensive for this foundation, so I feel like that is a positive, is that many people can get their shade based on whatever kingdom they fall into. As far as any other pros, I think that's gonna be it. So the fact that it wore pretty okay for the 8 hours, I didn't have to blot too much, and the shade range is pretty good. Now as far as the cons, this is the first time I feel like I've worn a foundation and I've seen it specifically break up on parts of my face. I'm gonna see if I could zoom you in. That's the most I could zoom you in. But on my nose area, you guys might not be able to see that, but on my nose area, above my mouth, some parts over here, like I have my smile line showing, just in general all over my nose, it definitely did break apart. And I don't like that, especially because that's not something that I experience with a lot of foundations that I try. A second con is just going to be, I feel like it shows my texture more than most foundations do. So I do have some breakouts from just hormonal acne, and just in general my skin has been going through it before I even started the foundation series. So I've been really on it with my skincare, and I feel like with this foundation it definitely does like show those pores, and it shows a little bit of texture that I have. So I don't really like that as well. Like that's not something that I'm in love with. A third con is going to be the shade that I picked. I feel like I should have gone one shade darker, and that's one of the issues. Is just that because it's not available in Ulta, I don't have that luxury of being able to go in, swatch the shade so I can see which one is best for me. So I had to make it work with what I had. But overall, I feel like this shade is a little bit too light. Even though my roommate said it looked fine, even though it looked good in the Target videos and other videos that I pre-filmed when I was looking back at the footage, you can clearly see that I had to put so much foundation on my neck that I looked a little patchy based on the fact that I was trying to get my face to match. Usually I can put some foundation on my neck and it won't be that much needed, but for this look I had to go in heavy and you just were able to see the different colors, so I wasn't really a big fan of that. And then with the foundation, in some parts it looked red and then in some parts it looks gray. So I feel like in general just the shade overall was something that I struggled with. So I do need to go in and pick another shade if I were to like keep this foundation. So I'm gonna have to return this one because I feel like it's a little too light. As far as the concealer, like my eyes, I definitely got a lot of creasing, but the creasing isn't that bad. What I did like about the concealer, so pros for that, the concealer did have good coverage. It was thick, a little thick in consistency, but I was able to still blend it out and move it. It blended pretty seamlessly, pretty easily, which I really, really loved. So I really did like the coverage of the concealer as well as the consistency of it. And then the con is just that it does crease a little bit, but I feel like that's most concealers, and like I've said in plenty of videos before, if you have creases, your eyes are gonna crease, sis, period. Like, it's gonna happen. So that's just something that I noticed. Other than that, I feel like it performs pretty standard of most foundations. It's not something that I'm like wowed by, but it's not also something that I hate. So I feel like if I'm thinking out of 10, I'll probably give this foundation a solid like 6.5, 7 maybe. 6.5, just because being that it did break up, I don't like that at all. So I feel like it's going to be a solid 6.5 in general for the foundation. I will definitely say that I will try it again in a darker shade in the future just to see how it works out. I'm not in love right now, but I think that has a huge part to do with the fact that the shade was a little too light for me, so I have to do too much work to make it work in general. But overall, those are just my thoughts and opinions and some of my pros and cons for both the foundation and the concealer. So 6.5 out of 10 for this one, which is better than what we did yesterday. So hopefully tomorrow we could get a 7 or 8, but just know that for this series I'm going to be very, very critical because I want to make sure that you guys are spending your money on the right foundation, and I want to make sure that I spend my money on the right foundation. So overall, those are my thoughts. Alright guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section down below, do you agree or disagree with my thoughts? Do you feel like it matched me? Have you tried Uoma Beauty? I want to know all of your thoughts down below. Also, don't forget to tell a friend, and to tell yourself, remind yourself to come back here tomorrow at 12 p.m. to see what foundation I will be reviewing next in this week's Foundation Olympics. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.